you've got to bridge that gap between research and then commercialization.
Exactly.
Right. And that's the biggest, it's called the valley of death, right? In space tech, but I think in general, right? Where you're trying to take technology that has matured in the research arena and then commercialize. I think it's like maybe a 70% death rate, right? But it's super key because if you look at, say, Silicon Valley, you have, you know, Stanford, you have, you know, Caltech, and then you have the companies, right? And you have the capacity to be able to take, you know, to bridge that. In Europe, they built something called the BICs, so Business Incubation Centers. So what they did was they went to top universities. You have all the research chops, and then went to startups and said you have all the capacity, right, and understanding of how to change these things. And they just said come into the same space, and it's been super successful.
Productive,
right.
So sorry, let me just interject. So the reason why I said there's that overlap, or there seems to be that overlap, is because in Nigeria today we have a lot of science and technology colleges, technical colleges. They are all over the country, pretty much in every local government. Or every 2 local governments. So like if it's not your local government, it's probably in the next one right beside you. And it's everywhere. And the focus for them, like under Buhari, there was a welding program that a lot of money went into to train people how to be welders, because the organized oil and gas industry said they need welders. So I think we have the bones for a lot of these things that we're talking about. But I think we've not decided, we don't have a concise agenda. We don't have consensus on how exactly it should be delivered, who does what, and what jobs are to be done. Let me explain why I say this. I say this because I have a brother-in-law who is in real estate. He's a real estate developer, and he has to hire a lot of carpenters and a lot of these kinds of folks. Artisans. So because of the churn rate, like he's literally having to hire like every other month. Because if you ask anybody that is building anything hardware in Nigeria, that churn rate is crazy. So I think, or maybe I should ask, from your perspective at Swap and share from your own perspective as well with space tech, like what is required for talent development for this $100 million dream that we're trying to build?